Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. Hey, if this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games, even when there's not a lot of news to talk about. Sean's doing product placement, and it's messing me up. But if you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop. Just like our producer, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Vernon Slayton did, as well as our affiliate, James Solar. Don't get confused by our Patreon. If you go and look, we took some money out to pay for SoundCloud, and then you have to take it all out. So I put some back in because we didn't need all of it. So now it looks like we've got a very rich patron, and we don't. It's just me paying ours back for 1 month. So I guess shout out to me being a partner of my own podcast. If you like merch, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop, just like some people did. Also, if you like this shirt that I'm wearing, shout out to John Bernardo. He designed this himself. When he first put it up on Twitter, I was like, can you see it on camera? I don't even know.
Probably not.
I was like, this is amazing. I have to get this. He did say I was the first one to buy it, and he said thank you, and you're very welcome, John. John Bernardo, of course, as we said many times, he created the amazing intro music that we have on the podcast, so thank you, John, for that. So it's the least I could do to support him, and obviously I love Ninja Turtles. I don't remember the exact link, but he's got it on his Twitter, at John S. Bernardo on Twitter, at John S. Bernardo. He's the homie. He's awesome. So go support him if you like the shirt. Sean,
Yes.
how you been?
Okay. We both just last week went back to work. I don't know about you, but it's been a week.
It's been a week for many reasons.
It's just, well, yeah. But yeah, it's all right. I got real used to playing multiple hours of video games a day, and now I'm like an hour every few days. I'm like, But
I did an hour or so at lunch today, and I still couldn't get past that part, but I'll save it. Oh yeah. Also, I think I've talked about on here that I got new art for the studio, and I finally got frames for it and put it up.
Oh wait, I moved the wrong.
YouTube.com/2playercoop if you're on audio services. I'm going to frame them a little better next time. I see I have to move the Link to the Past out to the side a little bit, and It's a Secret to Everybody out to the side a little bit as well, but I'm very happy so far. I feel like a real podcast.
Link to the side.
That's good. Sorry. Coke burp. Feels like a real podcast studio now. And then we look around the room.
You can't see what we see, but what you do see looks...
I keep saying I want to do a vlog.
No.
Not anytime soon.
In the Pool House studio, no longer TM.
I think
maybe.
it would still be funny. The boys will clean up the room, and then we will do a vlog at some point, because again...
It's got potential.
It's got potential.
We had that.
Yeah, if it was clean, I mean, we've
that.
Yeah,
we're in like a little arcade.
It is a pretty cool room. Yeah, the only thing it's missing is an arcade. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a week. I didn't want to go back to work, but I'm very thankful I have a job to go back to, especially the way the last year and a half went for me. Not even counting COVID and everything. So yeah. Oh, I didn't even say it. Sorry. Until we're out of this pandemic, I'm going to tell you every week to go ahead and wear your mask. Also, maybe don't storm the Capitol. But if you do, thankfully you're dumb enough to take selfies without wearing your bleeping mask.
Y'all, I'm glad you didn't wear your masks.
Freaking idiots.
You deserve everything you get and then some.
We're not getting into politics here, but I don't even think like this is politics. Like this is just common sense and decency. Yeah. Like you can't storm the U.S. Capitol. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Cupcakes, which are already mini cupcakes, which are small versions of cupcakes, which are already a small version of regular cakes. When does it stop with you people? Did I get it right? That was close.
You're on the right track. before I came over, it was the episode. Once you get to know somebody, I don't know why I'm talking like Kevin. That was Dwight. Once you get to know somebody, when you get to know somebody real well, you can read them like a book. And right now, Michael's book is
There's
what
no
is
way you're
going
gonna get
on,
this right.
What did Jan?
No, the Michael Scott story.
What? No, what is going on? What did Jan say, or something like that?
Oh yeah,
the Michael Scott story
with Dwight Schrute by Michael Scott.
Something like
think
that.
that's
I've already forgotten it
because he definitely says with Dwight Schrute, but then I think he also says
by Michael
Scott
with Dwight Schrute.
With Dwight Schrute. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. We got snow here in Memphis today.
We did.
It was
more
beautiful.
than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Like Brittany had, on her car where it actually piles up and you can see it, as opposed to like in the lawn.
Yeah.
It looked like 1.5 inches, and it was still, well, that was about the end of it. We probably didn't quite get 2 inches, but that's a lot for Memphis.
Yeah, I wish it would have been colder yesterday, so more of it would have stuck. But the kids got to make, a couple snowmen at school. Eliza and Kira made a snowman.
A little it was like the size of Kira.
Over by the time I got there.
It was cute. She loved it. Oh my God. There's something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I don't have to tell you, but just like this is her first. I can't remember if it snowed at all last year. Certainly not enough to accumulate.
Not like this, yeah.
But she was just freaking out and loving it. She was just like staring and just, Dad, no. So I'm like, this is just the cutest thing ever.
Yep.
It was so adorable.
And now it's all gone.
Yep.
Now I'm ready for it to go back up to the 50s. Like, okay, I got my snow.
See, good. I don't mind. Like, I would gladly take more snow.
I would too, but if it's going to be cold, there better be snow.
Exactly.
I don't want cold without the snow.
Yep.
No, thank you. Anything else going on, Sean?
I don't think so.
What have you been
What
playing?
is that? What happened? What was that?
That was you going,
Really? What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Ghost.
Nice. Did you beat it yet?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm through Act 2. I liberated all of the second area. It seems, and maybe they're going to dupe me, but it seems like Act 3 is going to be pretty short.
Okay.
I finally looked at the trophies. It's pretty much just, beat all the chapters, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's not quite do everything.
Okay, good.
Because there's like crickets and the banners and the Mongol artifacts and like all that crap. And there's a lot of, like, I would find one and be like 2 of 80. And I'm
you don't have to get all those?
You don't need to get all those. You do need to liberate everything.
Yeah.
You need to do all the actual missions.
Right. As you should.
And there's some other random things you have to do that I've already done most of. So I think by the time I beat the game, and then I do still need to see, once you beat the game, I'm assuming you can just beat it and then just go right back in and keep playing. I assume it's one of those games. I need to research that
Google
just to be safe.
Because the same thing with Phoenix. I'm glad I looked it up ahead of time.
Yeah. But I don't think... I still love this game. Act 2... Like, I was already loving this game after Act 1. Act 2, they cranked it up to 11. Act 2 was crazy.
See, I still haven't done anything in Act 2 yet. Now that I'm hooked on Demon's Souls.
Yeah. I like it a lot. But now that I don't really play it as much, we got football on the weekends and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're recording a day later because of football. So in case this podcast goes up a day late for patrons and a day late for regular people, it's just... It might be that way for the next 3 weeks or so until we get through football season.
Yeah. I don't think I'll platinum it by next week or, by next episode, but maybe 2 episodes from now I will. Yeah. But it doesn't really seem bad at all. So I like it a lot. It's definitely, I'm already on the verge of saying it probably could be number 2 now over Demon's Souls.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like neck and neck, and I don't see it. And again, it could just be recency bias. If I played this back in July, whenever it came out,
that's what I'm.
Maybe it's number 3 and
Yeah.
Demon Souls stays 2. I don't know, but I love this game, and you definitely. I feel like now the turntables. You need to play this game.
Okay, go back to Death Stranding. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I'm just saying you were the one telling me that I should play it, and now I'm like, you need.
Because I did kind of think you would like it more than. And again, I know I ranked it. We did our top 10 episode last week. Go back and watch it if you haven't already. I ranked it lower than a lot of people probably would have, especially being a Sony fanboy and everything. How about those Browns though? The thing is, I hate.
Shout out to James Solar for going 6 for 6 on his wild card
true.
predictions.
I think I actually went.
I went 4 for 6. I mean 4. Yeah, 4 for 6.
Did you pick the Browns?
Yeah.
So what did I
taking the Browns to the Super Bowl?
Hopefully not in the middle of the podcast. I got the Browns.
I got the Seahawks wrong.
I got the Seahawks wrong.
And Titans wrong.
Oh yeah, so I went 3 for 6. I didn't officially make my picks, but in my mind, I thought the Titans. Baltimore. I hate it for Buffalo. I'm like, no. Why? Why did that have to be the matchup?
Still don't think Baltimore's very good.
That defense sucks for Buffalo, though.
Yeah, but, well, I don't know.
And also, I'm not going to give the Browns too much credit, James Solar, and I don't care where you went to school and where he started out going to school. I hate Baker Mayfield.
He's fine. I'm not like, I mean, he's legit. He'll basically just be a hero in Cleveland.
He's
now.
not
He
legit.
is.
He's not legit. Pittsburgh said, would you like this game? Here you go. And then, of course, Kareem Hunt scores 2 touchdowns. Landry has a huge game and scores a touchdown. I'm like, where were you all season, guys?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hunt was there for a lot of the season, to be fair. They were both on my fantasy teams, why I say that. I ended up with like 4 Browns players somehow, which makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, but I really hate the Steelers. So if I had to pick one,
I
hate
Steelers.
Ben. I hate the Steelers. I always have. I like Tomlin though, which is the weird thing. I love him as a coach. I just hate that team. So that's all you played this week.
That is all I've played.
All I have played is Demon Souls. I'm still addicted. I have not gone back to Spider-Man as much as I would like to. I have not gone back to Ghost as much as I think I probably should. But I love this game. So I've now gotten through 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-1, and 5-1. So all I've got left to do are 5-2, 5-3. And this is the order Sean says I should go. 5-2, 5-3, 4-2, 4-3, and then 1-4.
Yep.
I love it. 3-2.
I'm shocked you were just like, well, I'm at the boss of 3-2. I'm like, geez. Did you struggle with that at all?
I don't think that area was that bad.
Difficult? No. It's just, it can be confusing.
It was scary at first when I saw the flying things. Like the gargoyle things.
They're intimidating, but then you're like, oh, they're kind of.
But then if they land, if they're in the air, 3 magic hits with where I'm at right now, 3 soul rays, they go down. If they land, what I was doing was I would hit them with one, they'd kind of run up at me, I'd hit them with another, and then I would switch my sword, go up and finish them off to save magic. They weren't that bad.
Once you dropped the thing, that heart, whatever that was
disgusting.
Did you go down there?
No.
To where it fell? You can go in there and do like a loop around, and there's
a bunch of items.
There's like souls and
okay,
maybe like some weapons and armor and stuff. I mean, it's probably not worth the trip back, but
yeah. So I did that. The boss of 3-2. Sean told me one of the reasons I did. Wait,
Man-Eater.
Yeah, but where did I get that spell from? What level?
You had to
beat.
You used the soul
from the dragon.
But then you had to rescue
get the fire ring. But then I had
Urea or
to
whatever her name
1-3.
is.
That's what it was. Go back to 1-3. So then I did that Man-Eater. Then all of a sudden, Sean says, use this fire ring thing. Don't let him hit you because it can interrupt it. I used it once. I was like, when he went, and then I see another life bar pop up that says Man-Eater. I'm like, oh my God, did this just glitch? Because nothing's coming. And then all of a sudden, I see like the camera pans. Not a cutscene, but it pans, and I see this guy. I think he flew in. I was just like, "Oh, there's another one of these idiots." Great, fresh place. And he ran up. He hit me. Well, actually, the first one hit me a couple times because somebody had entered my game, that I didn't know. Then they left the game, and the pop-up was on the screen saying, such and such has left your game, push X. But meanwhile, Maneater's still attacking me, and I'm hitting R1. I'm like, oh man, do I not have enough MP to use this? What's happening? Boom. I'm like, what? And then I finally noticed the thing, and I hit X, and then I hit R1, and after that, I was fine. Beat him on my first try. The 3-3 boss was hard. I had to play offline because I played against another player.
It's all luck of the draw. It depends on who you get.
I had some skilled people. I can't... When people invade me, I cannot hit them with magic. When you're not going against a computer, magic is like useless because as long as they keep moving, well...
That's when the flame spray is good because you can just... while you're running and you can
do I have the homing arrow yet? Did I get that? I can't remember. Or is that what I get in 4-2?
You get...
I mean, in 5.
I don't know if you have, but you could. That's what you use the 3-3 boss.
I think I did get it, but I've just kept the fire ring.
You don't really need that anymore.
Okay.
It may make quick work of the 5-2 boss because I think it's weak to fire. I don't remember.
Okay.
But honestly, I would just melee him. Like he's easy. It's similar to 4-1 boss adjudicator where it's just like,
okay,
just get behind him and melee him. He's really slow. He telegraphs everything. Just stay behind him and you're fine. So. And
I beat 1-3. That was probably the most difficult area until I tried 5-2. 1-3. Which boss was that? Oh, that was the penetrator, which really, really. But I had the knight. Sean told me to rescue the knight, so he helped me. He basically worked him, and I just was like, pew, pew. I got the last hit on him, so I at least felt like I did something.
Yeah.
But then when I went to 5-2, the Swamp of Sorrows.
I hate that area. I'm shocked you seem to have... You made it through. I don't know if it's the most difficult part, but like where I was going to try to help you. Okay. Because it's a huge area. It's literally just this wide open swamp. But if you found the first fog door thing, then
I found it. Well, the first time I went up there, first off, I don't know which one of these slugs is with these floating things is going to come after me and which is not. Like, oh, if they're not moving, I can run through them. Okay. And then I got by one of those great big guys with the club. He killed me. Then I tried going left, and I was like, ooh, there's lots of souls over here, so I went left into the pond. Then the
guy
got me. I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to go that way. I got the souls. I don't care about what I left. I've got all these souls that I collected. That's fine. Went back the other way. Tried going right. Found a bunch of souls over there. Got killed again. Finally got through. Got to the fog. Got through there. I'm going up this wooden path. And these mosquito things are coming at me. And I went, and I fell down into the pond. But I'm like, I'm poisoned already. I don't care, whatever. I go that way, and there's these little slug things, whatever. They're easy to kill. And then there's two of the big guys, and that's where I just kept getting, like, just killed. I did one time I ran past
I wouldn't use the firestorm thing on them because...
They attack too quickly.
Well, that and
they take away half your
you're
life.
You're going to aggro both of them. Yeah. You could just soul ray one of them. He'll probably come at you. You can pick him off before he gets to you, fill up your magic, and then pick off the other guy. This is what I would say.
When... One time I ran past both of them because I was like, maybe they won't follow me in here. I got the fog as one guy was like winding up. I got the fog. I ran through and I was like, okay, there's a lady here. I'll talk to her. And then her, boom, boom, both of them ran in. I was like, oh, I can't do that. But that last, because I was watching some videos today, like, what am I doing wrong? Is there any shortcut? There's not really. You got to go this way, then you got to go over there.
It's a big pond.
But there's like
it's a big swamp.
It seems like there's a million enemies in there.
You basically go right across, and then you work your way around the outside. Once you're like over here, the boss is like here, but you want to keep going around to do that shortcut, just in case you.
But I have to go through the fog for that, or if I'm supposed to stay up high.
You basically, once you go across, you're going to go like up high and then eventually back down.
To where the two big guys are. Yeah. Because I'm just avoiding.
So you probably fell and then you just ended up there anyway. Yeah, but it's easier if you stay on the thing just so you don't take fall damage and whatever.
Oh, no. I just jump off it at the very beginning now. I jump right off. I run across I take the poison hit. I get over as far as I can to where I know I'm not going to get poisoned by being in the water. I use.
But you are going to have to go through them because it's one of those things where like you need to get back on land, and I think that's like the only area you can.
Yeah.
So you do need to go past them, and then you're on land pretty much the rest of it.
So the last time I did before I gave up, I got one of them down, and then the other one I aggroed it. I'm going to sound like a real player here, and he came up, and I was fighting him, and I was doing good because when I finally realized like I don't need my magic on these, I can sword them to death. It's just usually I can go swipe, 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 and then I dodge, and then I swipe, swipe. I'm gonna dodge. But the problem is I was about to kill the second one and be able to actually go into that area, and I ended up in the water.
And you can't.
And
roll.
I tried to roll, and I
and
went
just,
ooh, and then he went bam, and then I stood up and he went bam, and I was dead. And I was like, okay, now I know I can do this.
Yeah.
But some of the videos I was watching, that shantytown thing, like you were saying, there's a billion of those enemies.
There's a lot. You just need to like keep hitting R3 to lock on, because you'll probably lock on before you see them, and hopefully before they see you. So you'll be like, oh, there's a guy right there. Pew pew, pick him up. Because I don't know if it happened to you much in 5.1, but those guys will just pop out of nowhere, just drop down, whatever, and just that little like rush attack.
If they do that quick attack, you're screwed.
Yeah, so you need to take your time and just keep clicking R3 so you can like target them, because that's the best way to see them.
I think once I can get in there, and I've got like so many stones of eyes, I can get in there and just get my body back, get all my health back, get all my magic back, and just be like, okay, let's go slow. The big thing now is I just want to get to that shortcut, because if I can open up that shortcut, then I know I really just kill one enemy, go across the bridge, and go to the boss, I assume.
Say that again.
So once I open up the shortcut, so when you start the level, you go down, you start going down the path. There's an enemy there. If you keep going right, that's where the bridge is, which I can't go now. If I go across that bridge, is it close to the boss?
It basically takes you along the cliff wall. There's some more of the bugs.
Okay.
But by the time you're back to like Shantytown area,
you just go
the
to
boss is like right there. Okay. Yeah. You'll probably beat the boss on your first try.
Wow.
But go get the shortcut just in case, because you don't want to go through this crap anymore.
No, I think what I'm going to... When I get to the shortcut, I'm going to take it right back, because I should have a decent amount of souls by then, although I need 22,000 upgrade now. Should have a decent amount of souls from killing the big guys and killing all the little guys and stuff. And I found all these souls. I'm going to take my ass back to the Nexus. I'm just going to see, take inventory, like how many souls do I have? What storied and legendary and all this other souls? Do I have enough to level up one more time, do the shortcut, go beat him, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And how is the 5-3 boss?
Not bad.
Okay.
I won't tell you, but it's not bad.
Okay.
It's way more like the 3-3 boss than the 2-3 boss.
And 3-3 was
the monk.
Oh, is it a player?
No, but I'm just saying it's more like that than
intimate.
Like
it's a dragon god.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. This game, it might end up, retroactively, who cares? But like I loved Phoenix, and I cannot wait to play more of it. But man, this game is so good, and I never ever thought I would have said that.
I am shocked at how much you.
I am too.
I'm
up at like 20 hours now.
But I would have thought this would have taken some encouragement to get you to finish it. But I'm glad you're hooked. That's awesome.
I was super frustrated at the beginning. Then I got to Flame Lurk, and I was super frustrated. But after that, I'm like, oh no, let's freaking go. I've got this.
You're definitely past the worst of it.
Yeah.
4.2 will be the only thing that'll really challenge you from here on out. And it's just because some of the enemies. The bosses. What is the boss? The boss is easy if you do it right. And the 4.3.
4?
The one with the rolling skeletons.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't even think you've gone into 4.2 at all yet, have you? Have you even tried it?
No, you said I could farm there, but I was like, I don't need a lot, and I know what to do in 4.1. I'm just going to kill these skeletons over and over and then go from there. I love it. Demon Souls is awesome. Yeah. All right. Since it's still slow, last month we did our Patreon bonus episode where we looked ahead to everything that's coming up in 2021. But really we didn't. We just talked about all the games that we know are coming out. Either they have dates or they're just confirmed for sometime in 2021, or things like Breath of the Wild 2. We assume they're coming in 2021. But we didn't really make any predictions. And since it's a slow news week, we wanted to do that now. We'll still do predictions if E3 happens, we'll do our E3 predictions, or our whatever the heck it ends up being this summer, we'll do predictions then. But I thought this was a good time to kind of take a step back, look at 2021. We're not making any like crazy stuff here. I mean, we might be. It depends which one I say for E3 and which ones I go through today.
Some of mine are, I tried not to get too pie in the sky. Like, for the most part, these are predictions, not a wish list. There's one or two that are wish list, but
yeah. Why don't you kick us off, Sean? So we'll each go through about 5 or so, depending. We might have some duplicates, but yeah.
So my first one is, I predict we will get a trailer for Super Mario 3D World / Bowser's Fury, maybe as soon as tomorrow.
Okay. Well, you'll mark it down. What makes you say that?
I saw it on Twitter earlier.
Oh, crap. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's coming. All right, I'll start out with...
I was like, this is not a prediction he would make. This is too random.
Okay, I've got 2 here that I did separate.
Did they say what the date might be?
The release date?
We have a date, don't we? Or have they just said February?
I'm trying to think if we have a date. I don't know. I've got 2 that are more wish listy than the others. I think there's a chance, but I don't think they're very likely. So should I start with those?
It's up to you. Mine run the gamut.
All right. First one, due to mainly, this is not happening, but whatever. Due to the success of Demon's Souls, and to a lesser extent, all the Resident Evil remakes and how well they've been accepted, very much pie in the sky, but Bloodborne remake.
I don't think it's pie in the sky.
I don't know that it's pie in the sky. I think it's too soon. I'm not saying it'll come out. I'm just saying announcement, but I still even think that's too soon.
The game came out 6 years ago.
No, I know, but
but I'm not even, just because I'm just like, when you think about that, I think it was March of 15. Like, how the hell did that game come out 6 years ago?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And the only thing, like, I was tweeting, because Greg Miller's playing through it, and I tweeted him, and because he's playing through it, and I was like, man, once I beat Demon's Souls, I do kind of want to go back to that, but I think it's going to be tough because it barely runs at 30 frames per second.
It's going to look bad.
Yeah. Because Demon's Souls, and I think about that too, when I'm just, especially in 5.2, when you're walking through that canyon just to start, and you've got your little light, everything's shining, I'm like, this is beautiful. But yeah, I hope you're right, and I hope on top of that, they just pile on top and say, and they just do a logo or something for Bloodborne 2.
That would be awesome. But I think that's even further out.
They gotta I lost myself. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, they gotta get friggin' Elden Ring out.
Yeah. Now that I'm curious, I mean, obviously we don't really know much about it. That one I'm really curious if you're going to like.
I don't know.
I wonder if that's going to be too RPG for you.
I don't know. So George Railroad Martin is writing the lore for it and everything, which is super cool. I think what we've heard is that it's actually open world.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Because even Bloodborne, it didn't have levels like this, but it's like that wide. Jeez, it's that wide linear, kind of like God of War, how it's not really levels, but it's like this is how you have to go. There's shortcuts and whatever, but blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to think about that.
One thing I'm excited for, like, I still to this day couldn't tell you what very in depth what the story of Bloodborne is. I know this church was like using blood, basically like blood transfusions and stuff to try to like cure diseases and stuff, and ended up creating all these beasts. And that's about as far as I know. Demon Souls is like, it's just demons and fog everywhere. And
everybody's
kill
stuck
them all.
in the Nexus, kill them, and yeah.
This I think is actually going to have. I mean, it's going to have a legit story to it. I'm excited for that.
Well, and that's what I wonder too, because I never tried Sekiro. But I wonder how that is, too, when it comes to the story and all that.
That seems like something that would have more of an actual story. But, yeah. Yeah, that's my first one.
I like it. Let me see. Let's just go with this, since we're talking about Demon's Souls and
I think
stuff.
we're going to have a few that overlap. But maybe not.
At some point this year, Sony will announce that they have purchased Blue Point.
I figured I'm like, that's on my list too. I bet that's where he's going to go now. But yes,
And along with that,
Oh,
we will see a tease for their next game.
Metal Gear Solid.
And please, God Almighty, let it be Metal Gear. I think it's crazy that they haven't bought Blue Point yet. I almost wanted to predict that they would buy From, but I'm like, From's not. They're not going to sell.
No.
Blue Point should be a first party studio by now. They just flat out should be. They've shown with Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls that they can take something. Like they already showed that they can port with the Nathan Drake collection, the Metal Gear collection. But now we've shown that they can do ground up complete remakes of games that are not just porting it from one system to another and just making it prettier. Like,
and I never played the original Demon Souls, but everything I've read and listened to and whatever is like the Demon Souls Die Hard from the originals. Like they're like they love it. They nailed it. They were very, very true to the original. Like so. Yeah. I think Metal Gear's a little... I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't know. It just seems... I mean, Shadow of the Colossus was PS only, right?
Yeah.
And Demon Souls.
Everything they've done...
It would just be weird for them to go... I don't know. Especially if Sony's going to buy them and then be like... I mean, I know Metal Gear's typically everybody thinks of it as Sony, but... I don't know.
Just think, in a dream world, if Konami does just say, fine, pay us X amount of money, you can have Metal Gear, you can't own it, but we will license Metal Gear, Castlevania. Like with what they just did with Demon Souls, imagine, like Colin always says, Bloodborne is it's like a Castlevania game, what a 3D Castlevania game should be with all the architecture and the combat and everything. Just imagine what they could do with some kind of... Now, that wouldn't be a remake. It would be a brand new game unless they remake Castlevania 64. But I don't know. I think it just makes too much sense, especially after everything Microsoft did with Bethesda and all those studios. Yes,
I will say...
Sony's got to do something.
There is a great game buried in Castlevania 64 somewhere.
I don't know about that. Great?
If Blue Point could remake that, I know we're getting real crazy here, but like, yeah, it would almost be Bloodborne, I guess. But like, I remember the first area very vividly.
Yep. That's
with
all
the forest and the cliffs and the boss is like this big skeleton because it's Castlevania. Like, I can picture that in like PS5. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that would be cool.
So yeah, it makes too much sense not to happen. I'm shocked it hasn't happened already. With all the success that Demon Souls has seen, critically, commercially, everything, they have to be talking at this point. They should have been doing it already after Shadow of the Colossus. But now, let's go.
Yeah. All right, my next... I don't need to look. I know what it is. My next one, another kind of pie in the sky. Maybe... Well, I don't know. I was going to say maybe more realistic, but maybe not. An announcement, at least, of... I don't know what it would be called, but basically PSVR 2.
Okay.
And the only reason I think maybe it's not terribly far off is they've kind of got the formula. Like, there's obviously a lot of ways that PSVR could be improved, but it's pretty dang good. They've got the basic, like, all you got to do is take what's there and just make it better. Like, maybe don't have a standalone, but I'm sure the PS5 is powerful enough to run it.
That now, yeah.
Pretty up, the graphics, the resolution a little bit. But, like, it's there. I feel like it wouldn't take that much. So, I don't know what it would be called, but PSVR 2 announced. And I will buy it literally like day one.
Imagine if Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
If they somehow can get Valve to say, okay, we'll port it. We'll have to dumb it down a little bit, whatever. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I hate that nobody can play that game. You know what I mean? Not nobody, but you know what I mean.
No, not nobody, because I body.
What do I want to do next? I'm going to combine this one. We've been thinking of, like last week we talked about, and we haven't done the Let's Plays yet. We're going to do them soon. 35th anniversary for a couple big Nintendo franchises. This year is also the 30th anniversary for two games that are very important to us. And I think both of them will get something, so I'm going to combine them into one prediction. This is the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter II and the 30th anniversary of Sonic.
Wasn't last year Street Fighter 30?
That was 4 years ago, and that was the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter 1.
Okay.
Which is dumb to even count. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think we get a new Sonic game announced, a new 2D Sonic game from the same guys that did Sonic Mania. That came out 4 years ago. That was 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think we see Street Fighter 6 for the first time. It'll be a PS5 exclusive. Some of the wind is out of the sails since we know Capcom's already planning on the arcade version and Super and Ultra from that leak. Come on, Capcom. But I think we get... I won't be shocked if Sonic is actually out later this year. I think Street Fighter is going to come out early in 22 would be my guess. I can't remember if that was in the leak or not. But it just... Because I remember Street Fighter 5 came out early in 2016. This will be 6 years. I think it makes sense. I think we get a new Sonic game announced, and it comes out this year, and I think we get a look at Street Fighter 6, and it's going to be out early next year.
I think those are both very plausible.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of mine are kind of boring now. We've been talking about this for a while. I predict...
Bankruptcy.
Either. So my prediction is stated thusly, that they finally combine PS Plus, PS Now. Or it may just be something new entirely. Like, I don't know.
I wrote down
something more to directly compete with Game Pass.
My prediction
that would essentially be, those combined.
I wrote, Sony does something with PS Plus and PS Now.
Right. It's just kind of there. It's nobody's, I mean, I don't know the numbers or anything, but it doesn't really seem like anybody's really using it. They don't really push it that much. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of there.
I think Sony has to know that we all want to be able to play our freaking PS3 games. Even if I have to do it via PS Now, and I know I could do it now, like I tried it when I had the free trial and Metal Gear 4 worked okay. I think they got to do something. I think the PS Plus collection was a good half step with some amazing games on there. Most of them I've already played and own. But like Jim Ryan has said in interviews, like at first he said, no, it doesn't make sense for us. But then he said recently in an interview a month ago or so, he's like, we don't have anything to say right now about that. Yeah. They're going to do something to compete with Game Pass. Do I think God of War 2 and Horizon 2 and Last of Us 3 and Ratchet and all this are going to be day and date on there? I don't think so. I think they want you to spend your $70. But, and I don't think they have to, if they just do something to incorporate PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus and give us access to the back catalog of these amazing Sony games that are trapped, especially on the PS3, I think they have to. Just that would be a huge win for me. Keep it at $60. Just say, hey, if you're a PS Plus subscriber, guess what? Now you get PS Now. If you don't want to do PS Plus, you can still get PS Now separately. It's up to you. Whatever. I just think it's a win-win-win-win-win for everybody.
Win.
Yep. God of War is going to be delayed, and Horizon will not.
One of mine is no God of War this year.
Where the hell is Ratchet?
No Halo Infinite this year.
Ooh.
I think God of War is like slam dunk. That's not coming this year. I'm going to go ahead and say Halo's not coming this year either.
I think it's crazy. I can't imagine God of War coming out this year. There's like fiberglass on this table or something. Look at my arm. I think it's crazy that they even announced the date, but then I'm also like, and all they've shown us is a logo. But I'm like, maybe they know. I don't know. I mean, God of War came out 4 years ago. Or no, 3 years ago. Sorry. It's only been 3 years. So, I mean, maybe Horizon is like a September game and then God of War comes in November. Although, like I've always said, all the mainline God of War games have actually until 2018, they all came out in March. That one came out in April. I think it's probably an early 22 game. But to counteract your Halo, My prediction was that Halo is out in November for their 20th anniversary. And it is and I don't know how you would even measure this, Metacritic or just fan reception. I'm not even talking about user score because user score sucks. Man, the Knicks suck now. Just when I get my hopes up, now they can't win a game. I think it will be the best received Halo game since whichever is, I think 2 is the best, or is it 3? I don't know, but it will be the best, considered the best Halo game since that original trilogy.
It kind of has to be.
Yeah.
If it's not, it doesn't need to be the best Halo ever.
Right.
But it's got to be the best since 1, 2, or 3, whichever one is supposedly the best. If it's not the best since then, that's not good.
And I think they've got the blueprint there. I think it's cool what they're trying to do with the open world aspect and stuff. But man, y'all got to get Craig, y'all got to help Craig out because that boy ain't right. But yeah, I hope I'm right because will I play it? Probably not. I've only played Halo 1, but I want Xbox. They don't need it, but they need it, and their fans deserve it. So I hope I'm right about that.
Yeah.
You haven't done Zelda yet. I'm surprised.
I don't have any Zelda on here. It just seems so. I can neither say that we will not get anything this year, but I think the fact that Breath of the Wild 2 gets announced at some point this year is too easy. So I just stayed away. I thought about, but it seemed too pie in the sky for me. I thought about new 2D Zelda, not a remake, like a new 2D Zelda comes out. Or at least announced. But I'm like, I don't think that's happening either.
Or just remake Oracle.
I'm gradually losing my faith in Nintendo. Like, I feel like the last thing they did that was like, oh my God, was like all the Mario stuff. And Mario 35, whatever, was it 35? Yeah, Mario 35 was pretty cool, but I got sick of that pretty quick. I thought 3D All-Stars was just very
blah.
Like they did the minimal amount of effort on that. Still nothing on Metroid, pretty much nothing on Breath of the Wild or Zelda in general. I have no Zelda stuff on here. This one's kind of boring, but it doesn't really warrant a discussion.
Have I done 3 now, I think? Because I combined so many, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever, I'll do a couple more.
PS5 outperforms PS4 in its first year, despite all the. And I don't remember if PS4. I don't think it was anything like this where they're so hard to come by.
They were at first because I remember when I got mine for Christmas, I had to be like, "Hey, Target's got them, Mom."
Oh yeah, I remember you saying
case,
that. Yeah.
But by the time you got yours the next year, they were everywhere. I don't know that the PS5 is going to be everywhere by Christmas. This year.
Maybe not everywhere, but. Yeah. I say it will outperform PS4.
But it was just, I hope so. And it's crazy because the PS4 did really well because that was when everybody was talking about console gaming's dead. Mobile games are the future, blah, 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 blah. And then Sony came out and said, oh, really? Okay. And even Xbox, to their credit, they got the floor wiped with them, but they still sold, 40 million or so, we think, Xbox Ones. Like, console gaming is not going anywhere until the console makers say, well, now it's all in the cloud or it's all in apps, whatever. And obviously Microsoft said it that way, but whatever. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
For the 35th anniversary, we do get a Zelda trilogy, and it will be Wind Waker HD, just a port, Twilight HD, just a port, and it will be Ocarina of Time. And please, God Almighty, let it be an up-res of the 3DS version. Not the 64, but now after I saw what they did with Mario 64, they ain't going to do that. We're going to get this, I think.
But those Zelda games don't really need They could do to Zelda
looks.
what they did with Mario, and I'd be totally fine.
But it's not even the looks. I just want the controls. I want that extra button on Ocarina, like on the 3DS.
Oh, well.
And it looks much better, too, but who cares? If they just were to just add that one extra button for the boots, like, I would love that.
There's no way. If they do that, there's no way we're getting purely just the N64 version. I think it's either the 3DS version or it's the N64 with the 3DS quality of life stuff.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's the minimum. If they did that, that's the version of Ocarina we would get. There's no way they would just give us the original N64. I mean, I say there's no way.
We thought
but,
that about Mario 64. That's what I'm saying. But I do want to play Wind Waker. I don't know that I'll play Twilight again, but it'll be nice to have whenever I want to go herd goats for 4 hours. And then just to be able to play Ocarina on the big screen, because the only way I've really ever played it is on my 3DS. I would love to be able to play it on the big screen or on the go. Even if they just use the original graphics, like I said, just clean them up a little bit and just give me that one extra button like the 3DS.
Yeah. I sure would like that. But I just don't know. How many more you got?
I've got like 5, but I'm not going to go through them all.
I've got 1, 2, 3 is kind of boring, and 4. We see a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Oh!
I don't think it's out till like 23,
yeah.
But I think we get a trailer. Or I mean, like, a teaser. We get something. Not just an announcement. We see something.
I hope so. Even if it's just a cinematic, so that people like you can watch it and go like,
"Oh, that's that
this
part."
Or will it? Yeah. I just want. That's what I can't wait to see is whenever we do get our first look at it. Are they going to hide what they did in the first game? Are they going to do a trailer that, like Last of Us 2, is misleading to people to protect them if they haven't played the first
I think
game?
it'll just be very vague. There's a lot you can show without giving away anything that would still speak to the fans of the game. Be like, oh, that's that part. Oh, that must be, that's calm. That's the, whatever. Like, there's plenty they could show that wouldn't give anything away with whatever direction they're taking it, but would be recognizable to people.
So I said that Final Fantasy VII Remake does end up coming to Xbox and PC at some point later this year. But alongside that, we do get a free PS5 upgrade.
Oh.
Game's already pretty, but bump it up to 60 frames per second. Get rid of these doors that look 60, like they're PS1, textures and stuff. I'd go back and play it again.
Yeah, I probably would too. That's one of the only things. I mean, I'm still working on Ghost, obviously, but that's, I think, the main thing keeping me from going back. What did James say?
James Solar says, to be honest, most of his Nintendo faith is in Ubisoft now. Hey, play Phoenix Rising. Trust me.
That's one of the only things keeping me from that, and the fact that I've already platinumed it, going back and playing Bloodborne again is because if we do get a PS5 upgrade, if I go back and play it now, I'm not going to play it again. No. Like, I kind of just want to wait, see if anything happens. I'm not even talking about a remake, just literally a PS5 upgrade.
It never even got a PS4 Pro patch. Like, it's the base game.
But, like, I saw videos online. I don't know what all goes into it, but basically somebody that had... Well, people have gone in and, like, modded it somehow. Like, it's in there already, a 60 frame per second version of Bloodborne. And it looks beautiful. I mean, it looks exactly the same, but 60 frames. Like, so I wouldn't be shocked to get a PS5 upgrade. But I also don't want to go and play the PS4 one now and then have the PS5 one come after. And then, so, I don't know. I'm not in any huge rush, but...
Grizzlies won.
Good. Thank God. All right, you or me?
Well, I just tag teamed with my Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. So me?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Kind of in line with that last one, although I have announcement, not trailer. GTA 6.
Oh my God, you're bringing the heavy hitters.
Obviously, not all of these are going to happen. I'd be shocked if any of them do. I guess these are a little more pie in the sky.
Rockstar does like a long hype cycle. Like Red Dead was hyped forever after it was announced. I think it was like a year and a half. I think
when are we getting GTA 5 on?
Second half is all they've said.
Oh, it's that long. Okay.
But they love a long. I think GTA 5 was announced a year before it came out. It came out September 13. I feel like it came out the first trailer. I'll never forget watching that trailer. I think it was in 2012. But I was just like, oh man, this looks awesome.
I'm trying to think of what they could do. I feel like it would be weird now to go back to a single person narrative after, the 3-person thing they did. I'm trying to think of where they can go. And the only thing I can think of, which I don't think they'll do, but maybe have 2 people, 2 locations.
Oh, I was
and somehow you can travel, not literally like drive across the country, but you could like fast travel, like. But you're not going to get 2 Liberty City. Like, if you get 2 cities, they're not going to be like 4 and 5. Where I just don't think they can be.
Oh, he started Immortals today. Awesome.
Nice.
What I thought of when you said 2, I was thinking 2 playable people. However, you're on opposite sides.
Oh, that could be cool.
Good guy and bad guy, gray area, Last of Us kind of thing, whatever. Something that would be interesting. Now, I don't think you would really just be able to switch between the 2 of them. It probably would be you do the open world to whatever. You probably can switch back and forth if they did that and just do whatever. But you could the missions would be like, you have to get to this point with this guy, and then you have to get to this point with this guy, and then you go back to this guy, and then you progress that story and progress that to where Rockstar, y'all listening?
There's a lot of things they could do.
Yeah.
But I feel like going back to just a 1 character, 1 city thing is, I mean, I'd be fine with it. I don't really care. I don't really play these games for the story too much. I just go in and just sandbox it and just have fun. So I don't really care too much one way or the other. But yeah, I don't know. I think 6 gets formally announced this year.
Okay. How many more do you have?
1 or 2. One's kind of, I've got 1 that I'm going to end on. My other one's just kind of like, so 2, I guess.
I'll save a big one for the last one then. And I'm going to say, I feel like I predict this every year. The trilogy that we've all been waiting for will finally come out this year. The Resistance trilogy. Now,
you serious?
That's my prediction. Yeah.
Oh, I had the other one. I thought you were being funny.
I had the other one.
Metroid.
No, I've got the other one written down. But I'll save that around E3 because I think that's when it'll get announced. Insomniac got Miles Morales out. They're finishing up Ratchet. They're big enough, and now that they're owned by Sony, they can be given the resource it takes to go back and remake or re-release and up-res these games and put them out as a trilogy. They've been tweeting about Resistance and concept art and all this stuff for like 2 years at this point. It's kind of like Ubisoft being like, here's Sam Fisher in this stupid game and this stupid game and this stupid game, but you're not getting a new Splinter Cell game. It's kind of like that at this point. I just feel at some point we're either going to get, I wanted to predict Resistance 4. I don't think that's happening. But I do think, so my prediction is, I'm kind of hedging my bets. Resistance comes back this year, but it's probably the trilogy. It's probably not 4. And I loved 1. It needs to be remade. Those controls are horrible. Like aim down sights is to click in the right stick. Like they need, it's horrible. Wow. 2 was awesome, crazy ending. I never got around to playing 3. I just think it would be, it makes too much sense. They've been tweeting about it way too much. Killzone supposedly might be dead now. We'll talk about that in the wrap up here in a little bit. They need a shooter. I think it'd be nice to put the trilogy out there, see if people care, to see if maybe you do go back to the well, either with 4 or a reboot or whatever.
You just made me think of one. I'll just say it real quick. Again, not really a prediction, just, and I've talked about it multiple times, but I want, and I know it already kind of sort of exists, but I want it better. A Jack and Daxter trilogy. Not a remake. You don't need to remake any of them. Just up-res them, make them, widescreen. Like the first one was PS2. Actually, they were all PS2. What am I saying?
Yeah. Like they did the Spyro trilogy a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Just release it. I don't know what Naughty Dog's doing right now. I think Uncharted.
Working on part 3.
Uncharted's basically done.
Well, all the rumors are Sony San Diego is taking over Uncharted.
Really?
Yeah, but then there were rumors that like that studio might already be dead. So who knows at this point? But
Yeah.
they've said they're done with Uncharted. So what are you going to do next? Are you really going to do part 3? Don't.
I don't. Yeah.
Unless you
I'm
just
done.
do The Last of Us :
the Michael Scott story.
I was going to say Mike and Dwight or something like just something else going on in the world that's not related to those characters. I think you could do that.
You know, Ike is a nickname for Dwight, so Mike and Dwight would be Mike and Ike.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Dwight
Isaac.
Eisenhower. And they say, be like Ike.
They say be like Mike. If I could be...
No, it's not be like Ike. It's I like Ike
I
or
was
something.
like, be like I was like, no, you're thinking of Michael Jordan.
Maybe Ike isn't a nickname for Dwight. Maybe his name was like Dwight Isaac Eisenhower. Wait.
That's too many eyes.
Wait. Is Ike short for Dwight?
No, it's short for Isaac.
Ike. I'm going to look this up right now. This is very important stuff. Not IKEA. Ike.
Short for
That's what I'm looking for.
Isaac.
Dwight Eisenhower. I searched for Ike and it's telling me about Dwight Eisenhower. Anyway. No, his name is Dwight D. Eisenhower, so it's not Dwight Isaac.
Maybe it's Dwight Ike Eisenhower.
Oh God! All right, my last
I was
kind of
gonna say,
boring
let's
one
move on.
is, and we've also talked about this before, but I think E3, at least as we know it, is done.
Yeah.
I think it may continue on in some kind of weird, like it's almost just going to become like a, like PSL. Like it's going to be just like, hey, here's a bunch of announcements. I don't think it's going to, it was just last year when they did like the video game week or whatever that was. Month.
Jeff Keighley did a summer of games,
Yeah,
and it
so
was
like
like
months.
stupid. Like it was.
I think there will be something called E3 in the future, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's anything like. And it's not just COVID. Even before COVID, I think it was just kind
already
of
dying,
getting kind of stupid. But
what I hope they do is, because I still love having those 3 or 4 days when all the big hitters go up there for an hour and a half or 2 hours and just drop bomb after bomb after bomb. I hope we get something like that, even if it is just all virtual, which I think this year
that's
definitely
totally
will.
fine. Yeah.
I don't want to have. We got a Ubisoft here, and then a month later another Ubisoft thing, and then Sony doesn't do anything. The Xbox does this, and then oh wait, we're doing a Nintendo Direct, but it's only a mini Direct. Now we're going to show indie. Like, I want everybody, because this all hit everybody so quickly this year when COVID went crazy. Now you've had a year to step back, think about it, Jeff Keighley, and just be like, how can we do this better? And if it's going to happen, it's probably not going to be E3 or the ESA doing it. It'll probably be Jeff just saying, hey,
yeah,
I'm the video game czar. Let's get Nintendo Direct this day, Sony this day, Microsoft this day, sprinkle in Ubisoft, EA, whatever. Like, let's get them all together for one weekend or whatever. And then you can have preview coverage from all IGN and GameSpot and all that stuff. I hope we get something, because I still like having that condensed period. I mean, it's cool to get stuff spread out, but it's Nerd Christmas, and I hate that we didn't get it this year.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
So you got one more?
I got one more.
All right, I'm going to do my last one here. I'm going to save a couple of these for E3. That one might be out of date by then, but it's fine. Coming out later this year, shocking the world, is
Metal Gear Solid 6.
Final Fantasy 16. Is that way too soon? Probably.
Oh, I forgot that was even a thing.
But by the time November rolls around, it's been 5 years. This November will be 5 years since Final Fantasy 15 came out. Square's huge. They've got teams everywhere working on the remake and working on Project Athia and all this other stuff. It seems crazy for me to predict that, but
I don't think it's
maybe.
I don't think it's totally crazy. It could happen. I forgot all about. I mean, granted, we know pretty much nothing about it, but
so
I
cool.
forgot that we'd even seen it.
It looks so cool. And also, I will say I will play it this year if it comes out.
Good.
Because it looks like the battle is going to be like the battle system is way more like Final Fantasy 15 and 7, which especially if they just copy 7 and do the ATB stuff, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's probably too soon, but since this November would have been 5 years since 15, I'm going to throw it out there. 16's out this year, probably in November.
All right, so my last one, it's kind of a weird one because it's really more just like personal, I guess. But my 2021 game of the year will be Ratchet. Beating out Resident Evil, beating out Horizon if it happens.
Maybe God of War.
Maybe God of War. I'll throw it out there. I think Ratchet. Because of how much I loved the last one. And if I had played it when it came out, that probably would have been...
It was 16, so would that have beat Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been my game of the year that year. Granted, kind of a weak year, but
Overwatch
it looks
one.
beautiful. Like, they could just copy that game. Here's some new weapons. Here's some cool new effects, which obviously they're doing. Now, I know we already know at least a couple games that it's hopefully going to be up against for Game of the Year. Some heavy hitters. But I kind of feel like Ratchet's going to be my Game of the Year when all is said and done.
I'll be shocked if this year comes and goes and Horizon isn't my game of the year. And I'm saying that because I do not think God of War is coming out. Like I predicted. I think it's getting delayed.
Now, what if we get Horizon
and if we have a repeat and they fix
Zelda's
my issues with Breath of the Wild into Breath of the Wild 2 and I have to do this again, I will say this. They better not come out a week apart again. I don't want that. Give me a couple months with this game and then have the other one come out. Like have Breath of the Wild in June or something and then Horizon in September. I don't know. Just don't put them a week apart again. And I swear to God, if it does come down to that again, it's going to be the Nexus of the universe. Well, that was fun. I like that. I like how you said we don't really have a lot to discuss with our predictions, and then we just
they all pretty much
minutes.
turned into
that was awesome. Fine. Well, we've only got one news item here, so this is a funny one. So I'll read through this. It comes from Video Game Chronicle. Sean, did you know that 20 years ago, Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo?
I did.
This comes from VGC. Nintendo, quote, laughed their asses off when approached by Microsoft regarding a possible buyout 20 years ago, a former executive has recalled. That's according to a new Bloomberg feature covering the origins of Microsoft's Xbox business, in which a group of key individuals discuss its early attempts to purchase various game companies, including the Super Mario firm. Quote, the first company we reached out to buy was EA. They said, no thanks. And then Nintendo, recalled Microsoft's then head of business development, Bob McBreen, also known as Ike. Steve made us go meet with Nintendo to see if they would consider being acquired, added Kevin Backus, Xbox's then director of third-party relations. Quote, they just laughed their asses off. Like, imagine an hour of somebody just laughing at you. That was kind of how that meeting went, end quote. McBreen added, we actually had Nintendo in our building in January 2000 to work through the details of a joint venture where we gave them all the technical specs of the Xbox. The pitch was their hardware stunk, and compared to Sony PlayStation, it did. So the idea was, listen, you're much better at the game portions of it with Mario and all that stuff. Why don't you let us take care of the hardware? But it didn't work out, end quote. According to McBreen, Microsoft also attempted to purchase Square, the maker of Final Fantasy and Midway Games, the now closed publisher behind Mortal Kombat. Quote, we had a letter of intent to buy Square. In early November 99, we went to Japan. We had one of those big dinners with their CEO and Steve Ballmer. The next day, we're sitting in their boardroom and they said, our banker would like to make a statement. And basically the banker said, Square cannot go through with this deal because the price is too low. We packed up, went home, and that was the end of Square. On Midway, Backus said that after discussions, Microsoft eventually decided that a potential deal didn't make sense. Quote, they were very serious about wanting to be acquired, but we couldn't figure out how to make it work because we'd immediately get them out of the PlayStation business, and we didn't need their sales and marketing group, and so that left us with not a lot of value. One crucial acquisition Microsoft did eventually make was for a little-known PC developer called Bungie. Mm-hmm. At the time, the deal faced some backlash internally and externally, according to Backus. Quote, I got a voicemail from Neil Nicastro, the CEO of Midway, saying that we were the dumbest people in the industry that he could understand maybe not wanting to buy them, but why would we buy a PC game developer? Everybody kind of thought that was dumb. Turns out they did okay buying Bungie, and then Bungie is doing okay now after being let go and everything. So I just thought it's funny that Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo, and they laughed their asses off.
Good. That's stupid.
It is stupid, but I'm glad they're all still here and making hardware and making the flimity jiggities. So,
All right. Hot off the press.
okay.
Dwight David Eisenhower was born on October 14th, 1890.
Oh, it's probably Eisenhower, Ike for Eisen.
in in Denison, Texas, the third of 7 sons born to David J. Eisenhower and Ida Stover. His mother originally named him David Dwight, but reversed the two names after his birth to avoid the confusion of having 2 Davids in the family.
Yes.
All of the boys were called Ike, such as Big Ike, Edgar, Little Ike, Dwight. The nickname was intended as an abbreviation of their last name. By World War II, only Dwight was... Dwight's just funny. By World War II, only Dwight was still called Ike.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Hot off the press from 70 years ago. And now it's time for the wrap-up. Ask Iwata, a series of in-depth interviews with the former head of Nintendo, is being released in book form in English this April, and I pre-ordered it because I just think that sounds like a really cool read. I don't read enough, and I think that would be a lot of fun to read. Even not even just about the video game portion, just about life and everything. That guy was so smart. It appears the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming out in March. Interesting. I'm still trying to see if I want to do that or not. We'll see. We got some PS5 updates at CES today. They didn't show any games or anything, but it was mentioned that Pragmata, the game that when we first saw it, we were like, is that Death Stranding 2 from Capcom? Has been delayed from 22 to 23. Darn. Ghostwire Tokyo is expected to be out in October, and Project Athia, or Athia, however you pronounce it, is targeting January of 22 to be released. So now it just... So is 16 out this year and then Athia comes next, or is Athia out first and then 16? Again, Square's huge. They've got 1 million teams, so yeah.
Is there any way
they're the same?
they're the same?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Unless they're pulling a Phantom Pain.
I mean, that's what immediately popped into my head.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, because of the whole the stuff that looks like it's Final Fantasy 15 and Athia or Athia.
But this is supposed to be nothing like 16 is supposed to be nothing like 15.
Yeah.
They're getting away from the whole...
They're going back to medieval
they
stuff
can't
and
be.
fantasy. Yeah. Nintendo is acquiring Next Level Games, the developers behind Luigi's Mansion 3 and the Strikers series. I kind of just figured they were already part of it.
Okay. Well,
we talked a few weeks ago, but that there was rumors that the PS4 Pro had been discontinued. Sony Japan is confirming that all PS4s except the Slim model have been discontinued.
makes sense.
I don't think anybody bought
But
PS4
nothing about
Pros.
a price drop?
No. Yeah.
I mean, what do they cost now?
I
300?
300 still, I think,
Oh,
because
that's
the Pro
stupid.
is 400. Yeah, they should discount that to $200 and sell as many of them as they can.
Yeah, agreed.
Reports are now claiming that 4.2 million PS5s were sold in the first 6 weeks, which is awesome. Goes along with Sean's prediction there, and also reportedly both console families, and I'll say families because counting the X and the S, they're outpacing last gen so far. That's awesome.
Good.
And I'm happy for Xbox, too. A leak has shown that Phoenix Rising's first DLC is coming January 21st, about 2 weeks from when you're watching this. Pretty sure it's true. Trophies went live. Can't wait to get it. Want to play more. It's a new god, so this isn't the one that's like in the Chinese mythology or anything.
Okay, I was wondering.
This is an extra... It's basically going to be one more story thing with side quests and stuff, I'm sure. I don't know what god it is.
Should be
from the other 4. I wonder if it's Hades. Hades was nowhere to be seen, was he?
No, well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe that was going to be like the cliffhanger at the end was, Hades pulls like a Thanos and, does like a, I'll do it myself, and just Yeah. Then that sets up
the sequel that we'll never
Phoenix
get.
too, but yeah. Maybe Poseidon? He's kind of a big one.
They talked about they had dialogue about him, but like, why does a water god have horses or some? There was something in there that made me laugh, but I love that game. Respawn is hiring for a quote brand new IP. The listing mentions that they're working on Adventuring Forever, whatever that means. But does that mean we're not going to get Jedi 2? I don't think so. Maybe Respawn's just bigger than we think, but we got to get Jedi Fallen Order :2, right?
:2. Jedi Fallen Order
:2. The next one. Outriders has been delayed until April 1st. A demo is coming in late February. I don't think you should ever delay a game to April Fool's Day. That doesn't seem like it's a good idea. PlayStation Now has added The Crew 2 until July 5th, Surviving Mars, and Frostpunk. Minecraft Earth is shutting down on June 30th. I guess it was not as popular as Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go.
I don't even know what that was.
It's Minecraft Earth.
Oh.
It's Minecraft AR phone stuff.
Literally didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I think I might have downloaded it for the boys on my phone one time or something, and they were like, man, whatever. And the last item here, the Killzone franchise website has been retired, which is affecting some online functionality with some of the older games. So a lot of people are speculating, is Killzone just dead? That Guerrilla's just like, no, we can just make Horizon now. And I don't know. I mean, I've heard
Probably.
Some of the games were really good. Shadowfall. I cannot believe Shadowfall was never a PS Plus game. That was a launch PS4 game that is supposed to be a really good first-person shooter, and it's never been a PS Plus game. That's crazy to me.
Did you ever, I guess not, we would have talked about it, but you haven't played Maneater at all?
Oh, no. I'm getting my man eaten by these Demon Souls bosses.
Oh, that's true. You did fight Maneater.
I did. I was going to say, isn't that the boss's name? That's why I was confused for a second.
I'm getting my man eaten.
Oh, God. That's it for episode 215. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, you can find us at nerd901.com, where they're connecting nerds across the Mid-South and the multiverse. Check out Ernie the Blur Without Fear and everything going on with the crew over there. You can find us on Twitter. I am at KevinWhite24. He is at Real Sean White. Together we're at 2player_co-op. You know the whole deal. Patreon, YouTube, like, subscribe, share, audio services, 5-star review, all that good stuff. Thank you to everybody for watching, and we will be back for the next episode. But until that time, Sean, go ahead, take us out.
Hey. Thank you for playing.
What the hell was that?
You said the next episode.
Oh. Are you Nate Dogg?
Yes.
Do that again?
Hey.
That's not right.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh, okay. Bye, everybody.
Oh, we're leaving that in. Bye.